Tonight on The Big Story. Oh my God! Senator, the Senate showdown. Two blocs are asserting their right to the chamber's leadership. Neither Alan Peter Cayetano nor Win Gatchalian is standing down. Senator Raffy Tulfo says his brother Erwin is suing after being dragged in a kickback scheme. Raffy is also taking on a Duterte.
Kami, yung tapang namin, ginagamit namin sa tama. Ang dami ko nasolve na problema. Si Pulong ba, may nasolve na problema.
Many people are wondering why Senator Jinggoy Estrada is not wearing the required detainee shirt in his mugshot. Well, the PNP has a really simple explanation. Good evening, I'm Ces Orenia Drilon. We begin with the Gatchalian and Cayetano blocs continuing to assert their control of the Senate after Wednesday's leadership change. As bickering continued, the confusion of having two leaders took its toll as it not only affected Senate employees, but it led to a brief scuffle. Mobile journalist Merimon Reyes with tonight's big story.
Despite managing to move forward from an apparent impasse this week, the Senate remains just as divided. On June 3rd, Senator Chis Escudero attended the session, giving the then 11-member minority the quorum it needed to wrestle control from the Cayetano bloc. Senator Win Gatchalian was installed as the new Senate President pro tempore and acting presiding officer.
Kasi ang rules natin, very clear kung may mga ganitong situation, dapat tumatakbo pa rin yung Senate. No? So that's why they appointed an acting Senate President, no? Para takbo pa rin lahat. Lahat pa rin ay gumagana. No? So that's the essence of why we have that rule.
But for Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, he is still the legitimate Senate President, while Senator Lauren Legarda remains Senate President pro tempore.
Pwedeng magkaroon ng acting if, in the event of resignation, hindi po ako nag-resign. You need a vote of 13 to remove us. Am I dead? Death. I don't think I'm dead.
I am not AI. I'm alive. And I'm present. Ako po'y nandito bilang Senate President pro tempore at membro ng 24 man and women na Senado. Kasi may nagtatanong kung nasaan. So hindi nga AI, buhay na buhay, sa awa po ng Diyos, at hindi nag-resign.
This confusion was already evident Wednesday night in two memos issued by both senators. Gatchalian ordered Senate employees to work from home on Thursday, while Cayetano called on all Senate offices involved in the scheduled Blue Ribbon hearing to be present.
Walang pagdinig ngayon. No? There's no hearing today. Yan ang announcement ng Blue Ribbon Chair na si Senator Erwin Tulfo.
Gatchalian likewise authorized Senate employees who reported on site to leave the office beginning at 10 a.m. since there's no official business scheduled. The SP pro tempore said this is in consideration of the safety of Senate personnel amid anticipated tensions at the upper chamber. Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla also came to the Senate on Gatchalian's request. And true enough, the supposedly canceled Blue Ribbon hearing today pushed through. Resource persons including lawyer Levi Baligod and the former soldiers who implicated President Bongbong Marcos and former Speaker Martin Romualdez in the flood control corruption scandal came. Senators Pia Cayetano and Robin Padilla escorted them until they crossed paths with Remulla on their way to the plenary hall.
Isinama sila ni Senator Pia Cayetano. Oh my God! Senator, andito siya, Secretary John Vic Remulla at pinipigil siya Senator Robin Padilla. Oh my God!
Pero sinalubong kami ni DILG Secretary. I don't know what his business is here. I don't know why he's trying to stop us.
Hindi nga, palabas nga lang ako, di ba? Opo. Din tayo din. Palabas na ako eh. Just checked up, tapos bigla na lang, a whole gang went up on. I didn't have any security with me, nothing. So it was I was trying to block, I could not block them alone.
Senator Padilla also denied having started the commotion. During the hearing, the Cayetano allied senators who attended lamented the lack of Blue Ribbon Committee staff. There was no Senate Secretariat nor stenographers to document the proceedings.
Una, sino ba nanggugulo? Kami o sila? Sino legitimately elected Senate President? Nasa harap niyo. So dapat ako sundin. Pero hindi ko pressure yung mga empleyado. So sila Senator Win ang nanggugulo dahil atat na sila ang maging majority at Senate President. So kung ayaw nyo ng gulo, huwag kayong manggulo.
After the hearing, Cayetano again had this to say to the Gatchalian bloc.
So, kung gusto niya makipag-meeting, ayusin nila, mag-meeting kaming dalawa sa Office of the Senate President. Di ba nandito naman kami ngayon, alam niya naman may hearing. Ang mahirap yung panay media, I wanna reach out, etc. Pero pagkausap yung mga miyembro namin, wala kayong kaso kapag sumama kayo sa amin. I mean, let's be honest with the media. Hindi yung pang-media, we're willing to talk. Di ba? Pero pagkausap yung mga miyembro namin, I'm not talking to Win, I'm talking to all of them in general. Gusto nyo kaming kausapin, trinethreaten nyo kami, ini-intimidate nyo kami. Gagawin nyo illegal kahapon, tapos sabihin nyo, willing kayo makipag-usap ka, aminin mo, hindi ka naman Senate President pro tempore, at hindi ka acting Senate President.
Gatchalian has earlier stated that their bloc was willing to talk to Cayetano's group. And if this does not work, they may be inclined to seek President Marcos's help to call for a special session to resolve the leadership issue. To which the palace said,
Yes, opo. Inclined ang presidente na to give in to the special request for or rather official request for the special session.
but for now, this was Castro's take on the Senate row.
Umayos kayo. So the minority is now the group of Senator Alan Cayetano. Kung mayroong mangyayaring botohan, mayroong mangyayaring pagdidesisyon, kaninong boto ang dapat manaig? Minority ba o majority? Siyempre majority rules.
Kapatid Mobile journalist Mary Reyes, we are One News.
So much more stories coming out of the Senate today. Let's bring in Mary Mon again to fill in the gaps for us. Mary Mon, before I ask you what happened to the flood control probe, was there any explanation by the group of Senator Alan Peter Cayetano why they chose to come today but were absent for the past 3 days on the session floor? Anong paliwanag doon?
Says ito lang ang sinasabi ng Cayetano-led bloc or si Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. They are not recognizing yung naging power shift or yung naging pagpapalit ng liderato or yung reorganization na nangyari ito isang araw sa session hall. And ang sinasabi nila dito, illegitimate ito, sila ang legitimate. So everything will proceed accordingly. Yung committee hearing nila, which includes yung Blue Ribbon hearing na it was led by Senator Pia Cayetano, alongside the man of the hour, Senator Rodante Marcoleta. So they proceeded, even though ang sinasabi ni Senator Erwin Tulfo, yung newly elected na chairman ng Blue Ribbon Committee, ang hearing ng Blue Ribbon, it will happen Monday next week.
All right, doon sa flood control hearing na ginawa nila, meron bang bagong impormasyon, ebidensya na naipahayag?
Actually, says wala masyadong bago talaga sa mga sinabi nitong 18 na ex-Marines. Allegedly, ito yung bagmen na nagpadala nga ng male-maletang naglalaman ng kickbacks from flood control projects. And etong mga ito, sila yung nagsimula magtrabaho daw bilang bagman kay dating ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldico nang maupo itong si Zaldico bilang Committee on Appropriations Chairman ng House of Representatives. Ang kiniklaim nitong Marines, nag-deliver sila ng mga maleta na may laman around 40 to 70 million pesos year 2024 bago magsimula ang pangangampanya. Ang isang nabanggit nila dito is si Senator Tito Soto na sinabi hindi naman daw direkta na binigay sa senador yung mali-maleta o yung pera kundi sa staff nito na may nangangalang Mark. Nakatanggap din daw si Senator Erwin Tulfo ang sinabi ng mga Marine twice. Noong una, 2 maleta. Nung sumunod, 6 na maleta ang pinadala. Even members of the International Criminal Court or ICC, noong dumating daw dito sa Pilipinas, year 2023, nakatanggap daw ito ng pera o ng mga kickback. And sila raw mismo ang naghatid sundo sa mga taga-ICC. And they are also claiming na nakipagtulong ang mga ito kay former House Speaker Martin Romualdez and former Senator Antonio Trillanes. Si Senator Trillanes din, may natanggap daw paper bag pati maleta sa headquarters ng partitong Magdalo sa Quezon City 2 weeks before dumating ang mga taga-ICC. At isa pang nabanggit nila dito si Congressman Terry Ridon and even Senator Ping Lacson sinabi may kinalaman daw sa pagpapadala netong kickbacks gamit ang isang helicopter. And outside politics, si Father Flavie Villanueva ay sinabi ring nakatanggap ng kickbacks, including Pangulong si President Bongbong Marcos, to which last time na na-bring up ito, they both denied itong mga allegation. Says.
Yung mga senador na idinawit nila dito, ano ba ang reaksyon nila?
Ang pinaka-common na ginamit nila salita, bogus. Bogus investigation, bogus na probe. There's this effort to wreck an image for these senators. Sila Senator Soto, ang sinabi, actually dati pa lang, matagal niya lang dinedebunk or dinedeny itong mga claims ito kasi hindi raw siya senador noong 2022 to 2025. Plus, yung sinasabing mark na staff niya, yung EA niya, matagal na raw napatay, 2015. So, tinatawag niya bogus investigation ito. Dapat ang dami yung mga hocus-pocus. The numbers are not connecting. The narratives are maraming loopholes ito. And even Senator Erwin Tulfo, tinatawag niya na blatant lies and demolition efforts nga itong lumalabas. At ang tinatanong dito, saan daw galing? Yung question lang daw na anong purpose, hindi raw masagot ng maayos. Sabi naman ng kanyang kapatid na si Senator Raffy Tulfo, lagot nga raw itong mga may paratang kay Senator Erwin. And si former Senator Trillanes naman sinasabi rin na hindi totoo itong mga alegasyon. They are absurd at wala raw siyang tinanggap na pera na kahit na anong purpose, lalo na rin ang International Criminal Court na naglalabas din ng kanilang statement denying these allegations. Let's listen in to some of the statements of the senators.
Well, it's a sham hearing. Hindi naman recorded yun dahil illegal, di ba? Definitely, it's a lie, a blatant lie. Saan nang galing yung sinasabi nila isa, dalawa, tatlo, apat, limang, whatever the maleta is. Kung sabihin nila, di ba, flood control, supposedly, flood control hearing daw yun. Wala naman akong flood control.
I talked to Erwin right away. I called him up and he said, that's not true. Galit na galit siya. He will file a cyber libel case against those Marines na binanggit pangalan niya, maging doon sa mga senador na ini-implicate din siya dahil, remember, illegitimate sila eh. So, hindi sila covered ng parliamentary immunity.
Alright, Mary Mon, ito bang session, itong hearing na ito ay meron bang recording na ginawa? Will this be part of the official records of the Senate?
Says kanina, walang staff from the Senate Secretariat nor ng Bloom ang present. Ang meron lang nung time na yun kanina ay senatorial staff. So mga staff ng mga senador na nandoon sa session hall kanina to conduct the Cayetano-led hearing. Ang sabi dito ni Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, ipapasok daw nila ito sa official records ng Senado. Pero ang makikita natin dito, magiging technical siya dahil if it's gonna be lobbied to be under the records or within the records ng Blue Ribbon Committee, mukhang hindi ito mangyayari dahil nga hindi siya official committee hearing according to Senator Gatchalian and according to Senator Tulfo, ang pagdinig ng Blue Ribbon, mangyayari yan sa Lunes, hindi yung nangyari kanina. Pero sabi ni Senator Cayetano, ipapasok daw nila ito na as official documentation pero wala tayo nakitang stenographers nor staff nga from the Senate Secretariat sa kaninang ginawa nilang pagdinig.
Okay. Pero inimbitahan nga ba ni Committee Chair, Blue Ribbon Committee Chair Erwin Tulfo ang 18 na ex-Marines sa Lunes, June 8?
Kanina, Ses, ang nasabi dyan ni Senator Tulfo, titingnan daw muna nila. Ang pinaka-kinonfirm niya, nagpadala na raw sila ng letter of invitation kay former House Speaker Romualdez. And ang tinimbang nila is baka mag-forum shopping lang daw itong 18 na ex-Marines. Pero, well, it was confirmed that they were invited na rin para sa gagawing pagdinig Monday next week, June 8. And we are anticipating other resource persons, more likely either from CSOs kung sakali man, from the DPWH kung sakali man, and including si Curly Discaya, yung kontratista na yan, nandito pa rin siya sa Senate custody. So anything could still happen by Monday. Pero kanina, nung natapos yung Cayetano-led na hearing, hinabol natin palabas si Attorney Levy Baligod, yung legal counsel itong mga Marine, and he has this to say sa susunod na hearing ng Cayetano block.
Attorney, what's next po kaya sa next hearing po ng Blue Ribbon? May bagong info po pong ilalabas?
Oo, gagawa kami ng individual affidavit na mas konkreto.
All right, and before we say thank you to you, Mary Mon, let me be the first to greet you a happy birthday tomorrow. We appreciate your update and I wish you less chaos in your beat of the Senate. Maraming salamat, mobile journalist Merrimon Reyes. And now, Senator Rodante Marcoleta caught the ire of media after accusing most practitioners of being bayaran or paid hacks. In his opening statement during the Cayetano-led flood scam probe, Marcoleta questioned the media's coverage of the scandal.
Kayo pong mga participants sa media, nakaramihan po sa inyo ay bayaran.
Members of the Senate media were quick to condemn Marcoleta's remark, calling it an unfair attack on the press and a threat to democratic discourse. They saw the statement as irresponsible and a reckless attack on an institution essential to democracy. The Senate press went on, while critique of coverage is part of a healthy democracy, there is a clear distinction between criticism and the wholesale vilification of the profession. The group emphasized that media should not be treated as participants in political rivalries and that journalists are accountable to the public and the truth, not to political actors. Other media organizations also criticized Marcoleta's statement. The senator has since apologized for it.
Meron po bang basis yung frustration? Hindi ko po nila lahat. Wala akong sinabing the entire media ay bayaran. Wala po akong sinabing gano'n. Maybe I had some frustrations with PRs. Ang mga PRs kasi silang gumagawa yan. They spin all this. So pasensya na po kung ako'y nakapagsalita ng gano'n. I did not mean it. Ito po ay dahil sa frustration ko sa nangyari at sa nangyayari pong nakikita ko.
Meantime, Senator Raffy Tulfo called the probe of the Cayetano Group a mere press conference. Speaking to our sister program Storycon, he also blasted former Marines who tagged his brother, Senator Erwin Tulfo, in an alleged kickback scheme. Raffy says his sibling is suing even the senators who conducted what he called a bogus hearing today.
If you notice, yung dalawang vice chair ng Blue Ribbon nila, Alan, ay may mga kaso din. Si Jinggoy, saka si Marcoleta, may mga kaso yun. Kay Erwin, bintang lamang at part of the demolition job. In fact, I talked to Erwin right away. I called him up and he said, that's not true. Galit na galit siya. He will file a cyber libel case against those Marines na binanggit pangalan niya, maging doon sa mga senador na ini-implicate din siya dahil, remember, illegitimate sila eh. So, hindi sila covered ng parliamentary immunity.
Yes.
So, that was just a press conference. So, yari sila kay Erwin.
Senator Tulfo also pushed back against Davao Congressman Pulong Duterte. On Facebook, the vice president's brother questioned the way the Tulfo brothers conduct themselves in public discourse and in the Senate. Pulong said the upper chamber is not a television program nor a ratings game. He warned against turning public service into performance-driven confrontation.
Siya ba yan? Eksakto. Eksakto, ganon. Kami, yung tapang namin, ginagamit namin sa tama. Kapag meron ng api, meron mga na-oppress, kinakampihan namin yun para mabigyan ng hustisya. Hindi yung para makipagbardagulan, para magpasikat. Ang dami ka na nasolve na problema. Si Pulong ba may nasolve na ng problema?
As for the new Senate majority's plans, there will be an impeachment manager to help Senate President Pro Tempore Sherwin Gatchalian with the impeachment trial of VP Sara Duterte. Tulfo said Gatchalian is also acting presiding officer for the proceedings. The senator likewise hopes one more minority member will jump ship so they can finally elect a new Senate president.
Kung magkaroon ng special session, by that time may special session, meron kami may singit na +1 or +2, +3 na. Kaya sabi ko, I'm inviting everybody, lahat ng mga taga ngayon, the new minority, lipat kayo sa amin. Okay lang. Ayusin natin yung problema ng ating bayan. Tama na. I mean, labis-labis na yung mga pangyayaring kahiyaan na dulot itong problema dinala ni Alan Peter Cayetano sa Senado.
You're watching The Big Story on One News. Next, we have the whole statement of Senator Robin Padilla as he addressed a confrontation with the DILG chief.
Hindi ako bad boy sa politika. Ako'y very good boy sa politika. Kaya nga ang sabi nila, lagi akong maximum tolerance.
Those were pro-Duterte and pro-Marcos supporters camped outside the Senate. Police forces were on hand and immediately diffused the situation and tension. Senator Rodante Marcoleta even had a brief meet and greet with his group's supporters. More headlines here on The Big Story. The PNP Criminal Investigation and Detection Group answered questions over Senator Jinggoy Estrada's mugshot. In the photos, Estrada just draped the orange detainee shirt over himself instead of wearing it. The CIDG explains that's because the shirt did not fit. All prepared detainee shirts were all too tight for him. And moving forward, the CIDG vows to find a detainee shirt that's a size XXL. And meantime, his camp is now considering requesting hospital arrest for the senator. According to his legal counsel, Noel Ostrea, his lingering osteoarthritis on both knees can be considered a potential pain management issue. Earlier, Sandigan Bayan 2nd Division junked Estrada and his co-accused former DPWH Secretary Manny Bonoan's motion to junk the graft charges against them. The anti-graft court insisted due process has been accorded by giving them the opportunity to defend allegations on their involvement in the flood control scandal. The court then proceeded to enter a not guilty plea for the senator and was given 10 days to explain why he should not be preventively suspended, which is among the prerequisites for an official charged with graft. Bonoan's arraignment, however, did not push through because he's still in the hospital. Per his medical findings, the former Public Works Secretary had at least 7 conditions, among them heart failure, chronic kidney diseases, and prostate cancer. And now circling back on our top story, let's get another former senator to weigh in. Joining us now is Acting Secretary of the Department of Labor and Employment, Francis Tolentino. Good evening, Secretary. Welcome once again to The Big Story.
Good evening, sirs. Good evening to your viewers as well.
Your appointment comes immediately after the one-year ban has expired. Now, some observers are saying this is somehow a political consolidation on the part of the administration. What do you say to that, Paul?
They can always say what they want to say, but I think I was appointed not on the basis of accommodation, but perhaps based on my past experience and accomplishments, modesty aside.
Before we go to the goings-on at the Senate, let's focus on your portfolio. Despite all the news centered on politics, really there is a crisis prevailing in the nation, especially with the inflation now rising, and the problem is, food prices are high. Now, part of your job calls for job generation aside from maintaining industrial peace. Where do you see jobs being created for Filipinos?
Well, we always look at the manufacturing, EBPOs, and some segments of the informal sector producing jobs and helping Philippine economy. I look at the gig economy, as I mentioned several times, as one of the factors of a booming trade insofar as online purchases are concerned, and several other small, medium-scale industries, especially in the countryside. So we look forward to buttressing what we have right now and preparing jobs for the future, and not doing something for the jobs of yesterday.
Right. So your main focus would be I would say the BPO industry, because this is where ilan ba, 2 million are employed and
Oh,
or more.
yes. The gig economy
Yes.
probably is one of my focus right now.
Right, kasi you'll have less than 2 years to go in your department. Yung threat po ng AI, do you think it's a threat or it's something that we can use really to
It's a
increase? Go
it's a
ahead.
disruption. It's a disruption which can always augment. I've always maintained the precept that even if AI is there, you call it now algorithmic management, there has always we always have to have that human in the loop, meaning to say we always have to have human intervention. And if AI is used in the hiring process, for instance, the evaluation must have to be done by human beings, part of the human resources personnel.
Have you set a target for yourself in let's say, how many jobs you can generate while you're there in Dole?
Where a lot of factors would be involved here. The inflation, the what's going on in Iran, even though there's a pause. But ultimately, I think it's not just the accumulation of jobs, but the protection of those who have the jobs right now, and the proper training of our youth, especially as they engage, as they immerse themselves in the education to employment pipeline. It has to be seamless and not disrupted. So I cannot set a timetable for that, but I set a I laid a timetable for the doables insofar as my management and performance is concerned.
Have you attended a cabinet meeting recently? Has there been one?
Just some cluster meetings, especially involving the executive secretary.
So
I'm just on my 6th day. Sis. Pang-anim na araw ko pa lang to.
you have to hit the ground running
Yes,
kasi po crisis tayo ngayon.
Yes, I've met. I just had a meeting today with the NLRC, the labor arbiters, to ensure that labor justice is really transparent and meted out to give justice to the working man and balance this with the needs of the employer. I'm meeting next week the labor sector. So that my 7th day would be tomorrow. And
right.
and on the 11th, on the 12th, Independence Day, we're rolling out a Trabaho Agad program, a jobs fair nationwide.
Ayun. Yan po ang inaantay ng ating
50,000.
mga kababayan.
50,000 jobs. 50,000 jobs.
50,000.
To be
Okay.
offered.
So let's now turn to the Senate. If we may ask you, when you think that it has reached the lowest depths, it even goes down further. There was a scuffle once again there. You were Senate Majority Leader and even Blue Ribbon Committee Chair. What do you make of everything that's happening now? Sino ba ang dapat na sundan ngayon? Is it the majority now held by Senator Win Gatchalian, or Senator Cayetano, who insists that he still is the Senate President?
Kaibigan ko lahat yan, sis, but I've always
Pero
maintained
let's
that,
go to the law. Let's put friendships aside. I'm sure kaibigan yung silang lahat.
Yes, I've always maintained that while strong disagreements may define democracy, decency and respect must always define the Philippine Senate, and this would involve respect for the rules, respect for the law and the Constitution. So whatever is laid down in the rules must be followed. We have rules. I think I was one of those who define, fine-tune some of the rules in place right now, including some segments of the rules of procedure of the Blue Ribbon Committee, and even the rules of the Senate. With all due respect, So it has to be followed, similar to the Jeffersonian rules of the US Senate. So igalang po natin yung umiiral na panuntunan sa Senado para maipakita sa taong bayan na ang Senado ay kagalang-galang din.
So sino po kasi both sides also are invoking their own rules or interpretation of the rules. Interpretation of the rules. Sino po ang nasa tama?
Alam niyo po, hindi ko nasundan yung mga kaganapan kaninang maghapon kasi napakaraming meeting po sa labas at loob ng DOLE para ibalangkas po namin yung mga umiiral na programa at may mga kaganapan din po sa International Labor Organization. There's an ongoing meeting in Geneva which I failed to attend because I'm just new. So, yung tama po dito kung sino yung sumusunod sa rules, kung sino po yung nakakarami.
Well, President Marcos has recognized the presiding officer and the block of Senator Win Gatchalian.
There's a basis for that, and I support that proposition that they have the majority.
Okay,
I
now,
think they have the majority based on the rules.
so was that Blue Ribbon Committee earlier a rogue hearing? Can we say rogue, romp? What do we call it?
It came from you. I never mentioned
No,
kangaroo.
I'm asking, kaya nga po. What
But
would you...
if you follow the rules, the committee itself would have to be duly constituted, meaning to say, the membership would have to be there. I think it's Rule 5 would have to be adopted. The notifications, the members of the staff would have to be there. So following the rules, I think there would be a school of thought that would say what transpired was not in accordance with the rules.
Okay, now I will not force you to to put your friends in bad light. So let's go now to the friction with China last year. Your legislative work on the maritime zones led to, China banning your entry. Now, as DOLE secretary, can you will this come in the way of your task?
In what way? Prior to I think, are you referring to an incident or?
May iringan po kayo with China.
Yes. But it has nothing
now that you're
Which
labor
we-
secretary, will this get in the way?
I still maintain that the Philippine Maritime Zones Law, which I authored, and the Philippine Archipelagic Sea Lanes Law, which I sponsored, are in accord with the 2016 arbitral ruling as well as the UNCLOS.
Yes.
So I still maintain that we have sovereign rights over the West Philippine Sea. I still maintain that the 9-dash line was invalidated by an international tribunal. I still maintain that what is going on right now in Bajo de Masinloc is against international law. And I can show you. I don't have it here, but perhaps in another guesting,
Sure,
I
sir.
can show you some materials that I have prepared because it's not here with me. So I still have one book here with me, the latest poetry book that I did, which is now off the press.
Oh, wow.
The Winds of
Makata rin po
Sovereignty.
pala kayo.
Yes,
Yes.
it's now off the press and it's available in Amazon and Barnes and Noble. So it documents our rights, our strong position, and our claim as regards the West Philippine Sea. So
Hoping for an
bumili
autographed
bumili
copy.
bumili ka na lang, Ses. I'll send you
Oh,
one.
sige. Bibili ako tas i-autograph nyo.
It doesn't. But there was a brief period of time during my first 48 hours when the issue of that Chinese controversy almost traversed my position. And I'm referring to what happened to that incident in Misamis Oriental. It's something to do with the closure of a small factory involving minerals, wherein the Department of National Defense Secretary also was personally involved. So the Chinese employees were found out to be illegal. Yes. And if you look at the rules, all alien employment permits would have to emanate from the Department of Labor. And immediately after the closure, and this is sans media coverage, we were able to provide temporary employment to the Filipino workers, 310 of them in that small town in Misamis Oriental. So there might be some crisscrossing so far as what you referred to a while ago in my current job.
We're glad you stood for the Filipinos, especially now
We
that we
will.
need to generate more
We
jobs.
will.
I cannot let you go, Secretary, without asking you this question. Will you throw your hat once again in the political ring?
I don't have a hat. It's too early. I wear a bull cap. I wear a bull cap now.
Okay.
I promised the president that I'll focus on this job, make it sure that the labor sector would be respected and balance the dynamics between any perceived conflict between capital and the laborer, the worker, with tripartism as the fulcrum, and making the working man a strong partner of Philippine economy. That's my promise.
All right, we thank you for your time, Acting Labor Secretary and former Senator Francis Tolentino. Now at this point, we bring you the day's other headlines, the wrap from mobile journalist Daniel Dial.
Manila has lost its bid for a seat in the powerful United Nations Security Council. Following a fierce four-round voting marathon in the UN General Assembly, Kyrgyzstan defeated the Philippines with a final vote of 143 to 49. Kyrgyzstan will now take the highly contested Asia-Pacific seat, marking its first ever time on the council. The two-year term is scheduled to begin on January 1st, 2027. Other results saw Portugal and Austria successfully block Germany from securing a seat, while Zimbabwe and Trinidad and Tobago run unopposed to claim their spots on the 15-member council. Batangas Representative Jerbil Ruiz says the House Prosecution Panel will no longer file a reply to Vice President Sara Duterte's response to the articles of impeachment. Luis said Duterte gave a, quote, non-answer and did not directly dispute the factual allegations in her case when she had the chance. The prosecution team will instead file a manifestation before the Senate before Monday, June 8, to explain their decision. A Bulacan court is set to hear motions filed by Gawad Kalinga founder Tony Meloto on Friday, June 5. Meloto is seeking bail and hospital arrest after he is accused of trafficking for alleged sexual abuse of two former GK scholars. His camp has cited medical concerns with Meloto in the hospital since his arrest. The hearing before Malolos RTC Branch 76 is separate from his arraignment.
Oh my God! Senator, andito siya, Secretary John Vic Remulla at pinipigil siya Senator Robin Padilla.
Again, that was the commotion inside the Senate this Thursday morning involving Senator Robin Padilla and Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla. The incident occurred as Padilla and Senator Pia Cayetano escorted resource persons to their own Blue Ribbon probe. Padilla and Remulla came face-to-face near an elevator where the brief shoving incident followed. Both later downplayed the encounter, with Padilla calling it crowd control and Remulla saying he never tried to block the group.
Hindi ako bad boy sa politika. Ako'y very good boy sa politika. Kaya nga ang sabi nila, talagang natural lang yun. Mga, ano yun eh, nagkakagulo. Walang tulakan. Nagkaroon ng tulakan. Siyempre, kasi maraming tao. Gulo eh. Ang importante, walang nagbuhat ng kamay. Crowd control kami ni Kaibigan ko naman yun. Wala namang kaming personal na away, tagahanga ako. Nung siya'y governor, lagi ako sa Cavite. Walang bad blood na.
Palabas na ako eh. Just checked out a whole gang went up on. I didn't have any security with me, nothing. So it wasn't I wasn't trying to block. I couldn't let them block them alone.
And Pag-asa has officially declared the start of the rainy season. The State Weather Bureau said 5 straight days of habagat-driven rains have met the conditions for the season's onset across the western sections of Luzon and the Visayas. However, it noted temporary breaks in monsoon rains may still occur. Pag-asa also warned that a possible El Nino could intensify habagat rains in the months ahead.
This is a big story on One News. When we return, we introduce you to the Light Project, where handcrafted designs will leave you in awe. Sustainability is next. Stay tuned.
Oh my God! Senator, andito siya, Secretary John Vic Remulla at pinipigil siya, Senator Robby Padilla. Oh my God!
They never gave us a chance. From the day we took over,
Umayos kayo. So the minority is now the group of Senator Alan Cayetano. Kung mayroong mangyayaring botohan, mayroong mangyayaring pagdidesisyon, kaninong boto ang dapat manaig? Minority ba o majority? Siyempre, majority rules.
Welcome back. From politics, we now shift the conversation to design, craftsmanship, and the use of natural materials in everyday spaces. In Negros Occidental, one design brand is creating handcrafted lighting and home decor using materials such as shells, abaca, rattan, bamboo, and wood. The Light Project combines traditional craftsmanship with contemporary design to create pieces for homes, hotels, resorts, and other spaces. Each piece is made by hand, reflecting a commitment to Filipino craftsmanship and natural materials. Here we feature initiatives that highlight craft and creativity. Welcome to Sustainability. Joining us this evening is Carlo Nino Academia, designer and creative director of the Light Project. Good evening, Carlo. Welcome to the big story and to sustainability.
Good evening, Mrs. Thank you for having me, and thank you for featuring my humble works here at the Big Story.
Well, your humble works have made it to Architectural Digest, House Beautiful, and Tatler as well. Imagine. So tell us how you started becoming a lighting designer.
Okay, thank you. Since I was a child, Mrs., I'm very passionate on creating lights. I remember when I was in grade 5, we have this old Christmas light. Then I created a chandelier made of old Christmas light. And then, fortunately, I studied interior design. And from there, I have backgrounds on designing spaces.
But you really wanted to focus on lighting.
Yeah, opo.
Sa lighting ka talaga.
From there po, merong background, merong subject kami doon na visual techniques. And we have this project which is made of wires. So we have this old parol. So I made a chandelier out of the old parol po. And
well, what we are showing now is, what do you call this design?
This is the Calya chandelier made of cocoa fiber.
And this is the one that you designed when you were working for a furniture company in Cebu.
No, it's a personal.
It's your own design.
Yeah, own design. Yeah.
Wow. So that's mag-isa lang yan?
Yeah, for a residential house in Bacolod.
Beautiful. Mukha siyang sampagitan. Pero ang tawag mo, Calya.
Calya,
Lily.
Its inspiration is the Calachuchi. The Calachuchi bud is my inspiration.
Not sampagita. Okay. And then later on, when we flash other pictures, tell us about these works. So, una Christmas light, tapos parol.
Parol, yeah.
And then pumasok ka na sa Cebu company?
Yeah, after I graduated interior design, I worked in Cebu. And then doon po nag-expand yung horizon ko for lighting. So we used to export chandeliers in the US, and doon po yung na-feature sa mga magazine. Oo. And then I took the board exam, and after that, pandemic came. Sabi ko, anong gagawin ko? Wala akong magawa. So I started, sabi ko, my colleague, Architect Chokson, called me na merong project sa house. So it's a brutalist house. So he put a big...
Okay, let me pause muna. What we're showing here are some of your designs.
Yeah.
This one there.
This is the Calya Capiz, the Capiz version. The other one is made of coconut fiber.
This one.
This one is in bread basket. It's made this material.
Oh,
it's wood,
what
yeah.
is this?
That's a wood, Gemelina wood. And then handcrafted siya. Inisa-isa talaga siyang i-weave ng aking mga ladies doon sa Negros.
So, nagbibigay ka rin ng employment sa mga kababaihan doon sa inyo. They are wives of sugar field,
Yes po.
hacienda workers.
Hacienda
Mga
workers.
sakada.
Sakadas po, yeah.
Ang ganda.
Thank you so much.
You know, it looks from here
It's like a
so
fabric.
ordinary, pero you can transform
Yeah,
it into something really beautiful and natural.
Yeah.
Gemolina, mabilis lang yan
Mabilis tumubo. That's why I opted to Gemelina wood kasi mabilis lang siya, and for sustainability,
Yeah.
no, mabilis lang talaga siya.
Pagputulin mo, madali
Yeah,
naman siyang...
oo.
Is Gemelina though endemic to the Philippines?
Parang hindi
ata.
po. Yeah,
Oo nga.
oo.
Kaya putulin mo na lang. And cheap.
Yeah, sure. Cheap,
Reasonable.
yeah.
Okay. And then here, this is Capiz, right?
This is baliad shell.
Mali.
Bali.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Ano
Capiz
yun?
shell, yung Capiz shell po, Mrs., is flat. Flat. It is called baliad shell because it's the term baliad, it's nagliliad.
Lumiliad.
Yeah,
Okay,
lumiliad.
parang pilita pag kumakanta.
So kung tingnan mo siya, yung ano niya is lumiliad siya. It's wavy.
Okay.
And then it's I made a
Different
project.
from Capiz.
Capiz, yeah.
It also has, ito rin, pare-pareho sila.
Yeah, this is the natural baliad, and this is the champagne colored baliad. Yeah. So I have a project in Palawan.
Once we see, once we alert us once we see the picture. Did you send a photo?
Yeah, I sent a photo. It's a combination of Bratan. My inspiration for that is the anemone.
Yes,
That's
the anemone.
Because it's a resort. So may concept anchored
Parang
sa
bring in the sea.
within the sea.
The creatures of the sea.
Yeah.
What I love about what you're doing is they're all handmade. They also use mostly, kasi syempre some you have to use na synthetic, pero mostly natural.
Natural, yeah.
Why did you have that thinking na ito ang gagamitin kong materials?
Actually, the Light Project was born because of this passion for natural materials and nature. I opted for natural materials kasi iba yung ano niya, Mrs., yung effect niya. Iba yung connection niya from...
No piece is the same.
Yeah,
no
piece is the same.
Oo.
It's
Like
different,
ito,
it's
iba-ibang
unique.
sheen.
Yeah.
Oo. And then ano pa? Ano
And then
pang
with natural
dahilan?
materials means it connects the users, no, from outdoors to indoors. Yun yung feeling sa natural materials, unlike the synthetic.
Yeah.
Like for example, Philippines now opted for fake wood. Yeah, something ganon.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
it's
like
different
mukha lang
for, yeah.
siyang wood pero hindi wood.
Hindi wood,
Mukhang
yeah.
bato pero hindi
Hindi bato, yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, this shells miss is discarded lang siya sa
Pinupulot lang
yeah. I have a project also made of coconut corn husk, yung cover ng mais.
Oo.
So I
Tinatapon din yun.
Tinatapon din yun. La Hobre asked me to design a wall decor for a residential house in Iloilo. So they gave me the inspiration. This is the inspiration. And then I opted to use mais, yung cover ng mais, and then I transformed it into a beautiful wall decor. So pumunta ako dun sa mountain side ng yung bayan namin is Candoni. Yung cover na mais, ginagawa nilang pang apoy. Yeah, ginagawang pangsindi lang ng apoy. So ayun, hiningi ko. And hindi naman hiningi
Will
kasi
it last though?
it will last.
What did you do with it? Paano mo ang balat ng mais, paano patatagalin?
Dinadry talaga siya, miss. So,
Okay.
dapat hindi siya
Walang moisture,
yeah.
okay.
Because isang ano yun ng natural materials.
Yeah.
Ng,
You have to take the moisture
Yeah,
out
oo.
para hindi siya mabulok.
Mabulok, yeah.
Yun lang ang sikreto.
Yeah,
And then, yun na, ang wallpaper, kumbaga.
I made the design.
Oh, this is it. Wait, pause. Now, that light was the one that made me contact you, actually. So, it's a beautiful kapis.
It's a rattan.
It's a rattan.
Yeah, it's a
okay,
rattan. Yeah,
okay,
this
there
one.
it is. Beautiful.
This is the anemone mirror in Cebu, in Iloilo.
Okay. So, yung rattan na yun ang ginagawa rin ng mga kababaihan.
Yeah, rattan.
How did you achieve that effect?
Actually, it's also
Parang ibong adar na
Ibong
yun, eh.
adar na is the concept. So, also La Hobre gave me this idea now. We have this project na inspired by the Ibong Adar na.
La Hobre is the design
The interior
company
designer, yeah.
that made Cucho.
Cucho in
Yes,
Iloilo.
in Iloilo.
It's the designers are Joan Reyes and this one, Mrs.
There you
Yeah.
go. So, rattan lang yan.
Yeah, it's a rattan.
Pero it looks very ethereal. Ang rattan, di ba, mukhang parang heavy.
Yeah, oo.
How did you achieve that effect? Sa lighting?
Sa lighting, yeah, sa lighting po. And then there's a combination of beads just to add the detail. As you can see po, merong ano doon, merong
Anong klaseng
detail.
beads yun? Natural din?
Natural beads. It's made of gimelina, but it's with circular.
How do you do it? Like this one? Paano gagawing?
There's a machine.
Okay.
Yeah. This one, I ordered it in Cebu. No, there's
Actually, parang magandang bracelet.
pwede din gaming damit, Mrs.
Tama!
Yeah. Oo, pwedeng gaming
Oo.
damit. The raffles, the raffle
Machine-made na itong mga bilog-bilog.
Yeah,
na to.
machine-made siya. Parang puncher siya. Doon sa Cebu siya in order yung materials. This one is also in Bantayan, Cebu. The abaca I
Bantayan.
used in Dumaguete. And also in Bohol,
So, we really have to make use of all these unique materials that we have.
Yeah.
Parang likas sa Pilipinas yun eh,
Yes,
di ba?
yes, Mrs.
Oo.
Actually, it's the designers na lang yung pagpagawa, pagpaganda ng item, no. Actually, inspiration is everywhere, Mrs. No, but it depends on how we see beauty sa inspiration na yun sa ano. And yun yung natatransform ko as designer, and luckily na it's a very
Sana mga
fulfilling.
inspiration mo nakukuha pag naglalakad-lakad? Sabi mo, you live in the mountains,
Yeah.
di ba? So, from nature also?
From nature, I'm very fortunate that I grew up in a rural community, which I was surrounded by the rich flora and fauna there.
You've come a long way from kumbaga, probinsyano ka.
Probinsyano talaga po.
Tapos sa mga design mo, nakarating na sa Architecture Digest. Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Where do you see the future for the Philippines? Because right now, you know, most of home accessories are mass-produced. So you see it is it in handcrafted products?
Now, Mrs., it's very fortunate that people now appreciates handcrafted design, no? Because of the social media, nakikita na yung mga gawang Pinoy. And mas maganda yung, I see a beautiful future for handcrafted design. No? Kasi, ayun, for example, the Cucho.
Beautiful, and also, pag makaka-generate ba to ng trabaho, makakatulong ba to sa mga, you know, places outside the city para magka-development
Yun
naman.
yung pinaka-ano ko po, dream ko, na matulungan yung mga women doon sa amin po.
Magkano bang sweldo ng sakada? Kunyari yung asawa nilang
Sakada na,
nagtatrabaho sa
field. 300 a day, Mrs.
300 a day, and it's punishing work.
Yeah.
Sa'yo, magkano ang kinikita nila?
Higit na.
Higit?
Yeah, higit na. Oo.
Ilang mga babae to? Ilang mga kababaihan to?
I have 3 ladies na gumagawa. And then, yung tawag sa amin doon is Pacquiao. No, Pacquiao. Yung buong design, I gave them the design, and then ipapakyaw nila yung buong design. And but
Parang
funny
may
pa,
presyo na yung pakyaw na yun.
may presyo na siya. And what's funny is they don't have the background na paano gumawa nito. So tinuturuan ko lang sila. And then, for example, Adarna, yung malaking fur kucho.
Naratan.
At first, sabi na, paano namin to gagawin? Hindi namin to kaya. Something. Sabi ko, go lang, gawin nyo lang siya. And then after the finished product, they na-amaze sila sa and very fulfilling
Naiyak sila sa tuwa.
Yeah.
Do you find also that good ideas come from them? Like ordinary people, baka meron silang mga suggestion, meron silang mga paraan na didiskubre?
I'm open also to to suggestions. I'm open to collaborations. And also my welder, it's my uncle.
Really?
My uncle is my welder. It's a backyard what I call this hindi naman siya company, no? It's a backyard work lang. And then my uncle, sometimes he suggested mas maganda pa ganito, mas maganda yung ganitong So open po ako sa sa mga possibilities niya.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Like malaki na.
Hopefully.
Like how many employees? What's the aim?
May lang talaga, miss, yung gusto ko lang talaga is mabigyan ng trabaho dun yung sa locals namin kasi rural area community. And then mahirap din yung doon.
Kandon,
Kandoni. Yeah, Kandoni.
Kandoni.
Yeah, Kandoni.
Iba pa yun sa Kandon.
Yeah, iba yun. Yeah, Kandoni.
Okay.
And then I hope na mas madami pang bibili para mas madami din ako matutulungan dun sa
Well, we're fortunate you're in Manila because you're designing the home of a very wealthy person and a well-known architect. I won't say their names, but thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Miss.
That was Carlo Academia of the Light Project. Thank you
so much, Miss.
And those are the big stories this Thursday, the 4th of June. I'm Ces Orenia Drilon. Kapatid, we are One News, your side all the time. Good night.